so much for being patient with us. We're glad you all are here. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the technology session. I'm just going to let everyone introduce themselves, and we're just going to go and get started, okay?
Hi, I'm Lois Idle, and I'm from the Office of Information Technology at UT. So I work where I think you all just came from, and I'm going to be presenting the OIT portion of technology and how that will impact you as you're on campus at UT.
And I'm Tracy Smith, and I'm the trainer here at the help desk at Pellissippi, and I'm going to be talking to you about the things you need to know from Pellissippi's perspective to use our computers and to access your accounts here on campus.
And I'm Nancy Rasnick, and I work in the Information Services IT department, and I'm here to go over to talk to you also about your email and everything. The thing we want to stress is that it is going to be a little bit confusing to start off with because you're going to have separate accounts that you're going to have to check. But we're going to do a great job of going over this with you, explaining the difference between them, what they access, and how we're going to be available to help you, whether or not you're at UT or at Pellissippi, and where you can go to for help. So those are the things you need to pay attention to. It's just basically that there are two different systems, that you've got help available and resources at both campuses or both locations, so you're going to get through this, okay? And I'm going to turn it over to Lois and let her go ahead and start off.
Well, they've given me a microphone. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. I'd like to talk to you about some of the resources that are available to you at UT. And as you leave the room, one of the things that I would strongly invite you to make yourself available of is this. This is essentially the Reader's Digest version of the presentation that I'm going to give. So if you don't have 100% recall, then take a little trifold and you can reference that later. The first thing and the last thing and pretty much everything in between, when you have troubles at UT with computing, email, whatever it might be technologically, I would invite you to go ahead and make yourself available to the help desk. We have several ways of helping you. We have a 24/7 phone number that you can call, 974-9900. That's one thing. You can also go to our help site, the website, and you can enter in whatever problem you're having, and they will get back with you on those things. So any technological issue, the help desk is really your first place to start. Several things that you will be able to take advantage of, and I think it's really exciting because you all have the net ID and password. Do you all know what your net ID is?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. When you have your net ID and password, it entitles you to all of our resources, and we have some great resources at UT. When you go to the OIT web page, you can do several things for yourself while you are there. You can go and change your password if you need to change your password. You can learn about technology training, and you all can also take advantage of IT Academy, which is online training that you can take on any of the Microsoft products. So information on all of those things are on our main website. We also have information about our computer labs, the hours and the locations. We have some security information, which we'll go into a little bit. And also the very most important thing, we have an RU New section. And RU New takes you to the Life Preserver online, which is really developed for orientation students first stepping on campus, having a problem. So hopefully those resources will be a good place to start. I'm sure Pellissippi and UT have Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere that you would need to be. All the public buildings, residence halls, all have Wi-Fi. You also can have a wired connection, so depending on where you are and the speed that you need, you have your choice on both of those. A few things just kind of interest. When you are receiving email, if you receive an email that seems kind of odd, if you're not sure, do not click on it. I'm sure you've heard about phishing and people saying, oh, I need to have your account number, social security number, whatever it is. Actually, at UT, we never ask for that information because we already know that. So we're not going to ask you to tell us again. If it's asking you in an email, it's somebody else wanting that information, not us. And surprisingly enough, I talked to the head of our help desk, and of all the help problems that they have, phishing is the #1 problem that we have. It's people responding, and once there's a response and that information is used for cruel and evil purposes, it actually blacklists us from a lot of the major Yahoos and Comcasts and so forth, and so then we have to actually bring up our network again. So that's why we're a little bit cautious about that. So I would mention that we're not going to ask those questions. Do not reply to those kinds of things. You'll kind of see that all over campus. Peer-to-peer. We do not download music. We're really against anything that is illegally downloaded. Music, movies, whatever it is. And the minute that we discover that somebody has done that, the port is shut down, and we have the IP addresses, and we have to turn that over to the people who like to know that. So it's just something that doesn't happen on campus, and you would be aware that it's not tolerated at UT. I mentioned the Are You New, and it will look just like the trifold that you have. It's an entire website, and it literally goes through and says, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to establish your email account? Do you need to change your password? What is it? What is your purpose? And then hopefully we've got the links that will take you there as well. A couple of things for you to be aware of. There is the help desk 974-9900. There's also a help location, and the location is in the commons of the library. Did y'all go to the library? Okay. The second floor of the library is designated as the technology area, and they have computer labs over there, and they also have a computer help area, and that could be like a physical, I need some help with my computer, where you walk in and you talk to somebody and they lay hands on your computer. Now they're really good with, if there's a software problem, fixing it, a connection problem, a networking thing. They promise that they won't fix your computer if it is broken. So it's not hardware related, but any software issues, if you're having a problem, you can physically bring that into the second floor of the commons, and they'll take care of that as well. If you happen to have spyware issues like that, they can take care of that, get you set up on your networks, whatever it is. And you'll notice that just as soon as school starts, they'll have like a lot of different locations that will be advertised. So that would be a great time for you to stop by if you haven't already and get yourself connected and hooked up. In the commons, second floor of Hodges Library, and it's just right down, there's like a Starbucks, and it's just right down from the Starbucks, is what's called the commons. And in the commons, that's where the tech support is that I just mentioned. The help desk is there. They have a lot of computer labs, and there's also a place called the studio where you can rent computing equipment. You might need a laptop, you might need to have a camera or something for a class that you're taking, or whatever. The studio can help with that, and they also have staff on hand that can help you learn how to operate those equipments as well. So that's a really fully functioning area for you to be aware of. As far as your net ID, you all said that you knew what it was. It entitles you to a lot. It's kind of your password and your gateway to all of the resources at UT. When you use your email, you'll be logging in with your net ID and password. When you sit down at the labs, the first thing they want is your net ID and password. We have a place, and I'm just going to touch on this, online at UT. Have you all heard of Blackboard? Blackboard is a program that a lot of the professors at UT use for grading and posting information to the classes. Pellissippi has Blackboard, and University of Tennessee has a Blackboard. So as you get into your classes, that's something that requires NetID and password. MyUTK is our portal. Pellissippi also has a portal. NetID and password is required, our NetID for that as you start to use it. Also, when you use your computer or tablet or whatever remotely, laptop wireless access requires that they know who you are, and when you print and use the library. So several options there for you to be aware of. Your email at UT is netid@utk.edu. So, and I should mention that your NetID, do y'all love your NetID? Good, because that's pretty much yours. And it's, for security purposes, they pretty much like you to keep that NetID while you're at UT. So that will be something that will remain the same, and then at utk.edu is how you access your email. It is the official way that the university touches base with you, corresponds with you. So even as you are here attending classes at Pellissippi, anything that's important for UT will be sent to you through our UT email. So be sure and check both emails to make sure that you're getting the current information from both schools. A nice way to look up people, you know somebody's at UT and you don't know how to contact them. This is an online phone book. It gives, it could be faculty, staff, or students. It gives the phone number, it gives name, and it gives email address. So if you're trying to get in touch with a professor or a student or whatever in a study group, you can look that up from any of the OIT pages. There's a people finder, and you can access the campus directory quickly and easily from there. The MyUTK, as you become more and more involved, this page will become more and more helpful to you. It allows you to go to the website, look at your registration, look at your classes. You can look at how much money you need to donate, and all those nice important factors are all done through that portal. So nice place to know about as well. Blackboard, again, this will be very similar on both campuses as you get more involved. I think you'll be able to do this on both campuses. A lot of instructors will send email through Blackboard, and they'll send it, in our case, to the utk.edu email addresses. It's where they send announcements. Syllabuses for classes can be there, class materials, notes, videos, those kind of things can all be posted on our Blackboard site. Staff computers. I love this because y'all are going to be on campus. And if you need to either use a computer or you need to print some material, all of that can be handled through our labs. Now we have 6 staffed labs, and then we have a lot of labs that are in the lobbies of residence halls. So the staffed labs are art and architecture. The commons, that would be the 2nd floor of Hodges Library. Humanities, Perkins, and presidential. So all centrally located, you can go into any one, you just have to have NetID and password. And we have a lot of different computers, and on the website where you see labs, you can see how many computers and what kind of computers and what kind of software each of one of them has. But they have most of the latest and greatest and high-end software available. Free technology workshops. Now, I have a little bias here because I'm the coordinator of the technology classes. But these are free, and they're for students. And all you have to have is NetID and password to register for a class. What we try to do is we try to get you up and running on whatever it is that you might need for an academic class. If somebody says you need to have a website, you need to do a PowerPoint presentation, you need to learn how to use Dreamweaver. We teach all of those classes. We teach Photoshop. We teach just Excel, a whole myriad of classes. You should make yourself available of these classes because they are free. They're 2-hour classes, but they're intensive to be able to get you up to speed using the software that you would need for academic classes. And while you're here during the summer, if you can find a class that fits with your schedule, you can just drop one in, and that will really help you as you prepare for your academic career. We also have Facebook, we have Twitter, you can follow us. That's good for several reasons. If you're trying to connect to a lab and there's some problem, well, there may be some kind of an outage or something, and we can relay that information to you. If you friend us, we'll let you know what's going on, as well as some other events that are coming up and so forth. 4 ways to get help. If you walk out of here and you remember these things, I think you'll be in great shape. The help desk, 974-9900, or you can go to help.utk.edu. Our website, oit.utk.edu, has all of our resources. The Commons, where you can go in and chat with somebody live, find out the resources, and the Are You New, the Life Preserver. What is it that you need to know to get connected and to get started the very first time at UT? So, looking at all of those pieces together, have I started any questions, anything that you are curious about, any of the resources that we offer at UT? Yes, ma'am.
To connect to like a Wi-Fi network, even if it's like in your dorm or anything, do you have to have a password to access that, or and then how do you go about it?
And it's very easy. You have your laptop, could be a notebook, whatever it is. When you turn it on and it detects that it's looking for Wi-Fi, it's going to have you register for our network. And so it'll just step you through that process, and it's a pretty short process to just so we know who you are, even though you're wireless. Other question? Yes, ma'am.
Do you have people trying to figure out how they get on to look at all of our accounts? So if they want to like put money on my ball card or pay tuition online, how do they do that?
Those kinds of things could be handled through my UTK. So checking that, and it might be something. There are several privacy acts, so you may have to relay that information to them, but it would all be done through the My UTK.
They just get on our UTK?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all that information's there. Other questions? Yes, sir.
All right. My Xbox isn't hooking up to like the internet. That's like the biggest nerd ever.
Xbox? What's that? No.
But do you have to like set it up through something like through like a computer or something?
Yeah. So I'm going to answer you and anybody else who needs to hear this. Xbox is a device, so you register it, and we have a few on campus that are already registered. Yes, sir.
What if you just
I'm sorry?
What if you plug in like the Ethernet cable into the wall?
If you just plug into the wall, it's going to say, welcome, who are you, and have you register. There's a registration either way. And
How do you do this?
it does it for you. There's not a lot of doing. And if you run into trouble, you can call the help desk and they'll help you out. But mostly it'll step you through. A little tip that occurs to me that I should share with you when you do your computer registration, if you have like not updated your computer service pack wise, it would be really nice if you did that before you tried to hook into our network, because it makes the process a lot slower for you if you're not up to date on service packs on the Windows side. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's say you have a computer and you're getting a new one. Can you disconnect the one you just hooked up?
Mm-hmm.
So you only have 5. So
Right. Oh, very good. You can only have 5 devices. That is correct.
So you can like undevice.
Yes, and you can unregister it through the help desk. Yeah, you can just say, I'm not using this, and I'm going to use this instead. Anybody going to be getting a computer? Y'all have yours already? Sweet. Okay. If you're wondering what kind of computer I would recommend you think about where your major is going to be and talk to that college. Different colleges have different requirements, so talk to the college, see see what it is they recommend so that you're in sync with them. But if you've already got yours, you're set. That's good. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
When we go to the libraries to print something, like, do our laptops just connect to the printers once we're in there?
There's a vol print process that you go through, and they can step you through that when you're at the labs or whatever. And there is a small fee for printing. It's like two cents a page or something. And so you have an account where you put money. Anything else? Good. Well, thank you all for your attention. If you have any other questions, we'd be happy to help you.
I even recognize you at first. Did you go there and work out? It sounds like
Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay, great. I'm Tracy Smith, and I am the trainer with the help desk at Mississippi. And so a lot of the same things apply to both places, and I'm going to tell you a few little tips you'll want to know that might be different here. Instead of NetID at Mississippi, you have the equivalent. You have a Mississippi computer account, and does everybody have that username and password for Mississippi? Okay, great. And there's some other, you all got a notebook today, and so there's a lot of information in there that we're going to go over today, especially if you forget your password. And then as well, there's a handout in the back that you can get some other stuff, information just to kind of remind you later about things we covered. But that username and password will get you on to all the computers on Mississippi's campus. It will log you onto the wireless network because it's the same sort of process. It'll kind of prompt you and you'll have to log in there. It'll get you into your email, into your online courses, and to your library access. And so it is something you need to know. It'll get you a lot of places. That username and password is a secure account, and we highly recommend you share it with no one. So if the question came up about parents, you know, we really don't want you sharing that username and password with anyone. So now's a good time to start. If you have your MyMississippi or your MyU2K, you're going to have to work those things out with your parents about how to load those accounts. But you're the only one that needs to have access to that username and password. That password at Mississippi is good for 90 days. So after 90 days, usually that expires right in the middle of the semester. So it's always a good idea to change it before you go back on Christmas so that you're not locked out after you come back from Christmas break. But just be aware of that, and that's just a security measure. We've got a web page that is available, and there's lots of, that's how you're going to access your email and the webmails up here at the top. There's a link to My Mississippi, and we'll go over that in a minute. And from webmail, there's several links down on the side that will access some help desk information and any other information you might need. Okay. Email. She mentioned this for UT as well, but it's really important that you check it daily. This is how instructors are going to communicate with you. This is how financial aid is going to communicate with you. So check those accounts every day for UT and Mississippi. You've got email. You've got online courses email for UT. You've got email for Mississippi and online courses email for Mississippi. So there's 4 accounts already that you need to be checking. Plus, y'all probably have a personal account too. So y'all are going to be busy just checking email. But it's really important. And the other thing we want to tell you is don't forward your college email to your personal account.
when you forward those messages, because you can dig around and find a way to do that, but what happens is instructors and classes have distribution lists. The college has distribution lists. This is true for UT and Mississippi, and you will lose that email. That email from the distribution list won't make it to be forwarded to your personal account. So don't forward your email, just check your email addresses. My Mississippi, that's the same as is it my UTK? That's your Mississippi account where you're gonna change your schedule, review financial aid, check your transcripts, all that sort of thing is gonna be done in my Mississippi, and that's accessible from our webpage. Online courses are also accessible on our webpage, and your instructors are gonna use online courses. UT uses Blackboard. We use D2L, but it's the same thing. It's online courses. And within online courses, instructors will post assignments, they'll post information and documents, and they'll also have email, and sometimes they'll communicate with you through that email. Now that email in online courses is just kind of its own self-contained system where you can talk to classmates and talk to your instructor. And some instructors will use that email, and some of them will use your just college email. So check that, but just realize it's just a separate place, a separate account. But that's just another tool that they use in their classes. So, if you're having trouble, there's a lot of things you can do. From My Mississippi and from your webmail page, you'll see can't access your account. That'll take you through some steps on how to reset your password or just how to get some help there. We've got open labs on our campuses. On each of our campuses, there's an open lab that's available for you to use. And they are staffed with lab assistants that'll be glad to help you with software. And also, if you're having just any other technology questions or trouble with your password accounts, they can help you with that as well. And another little tip is you can print here, and it doesn't cost you anything. So, right now, so you'll have 300 prints here for free that you won't have maybe at UT, so it might be a good idea to do that. But in the labs, there are scanners, there's laptops you can check out from our libraries, there's study rooms here as well, there's iPads you can check out in the libraries as well. So we have a lot of similar resources you can use here at Mississippi while you're on campus. And the help desk, you can contact the help desk from the help desk page. You can chat with a help desk person during help desk hours. You can check open lab hours. You can email the help desk. You can text the help desk, and you can call the help desk. So lots of ways to get in touch with the help desk, but there again is a resource to help you out here. I think those are a lot of the same things that she covered about phishing. It's true about Mississippi. You know, if somebody asks for your username and password and they say they're from the help desk, it's a good chance they're not, because we know all that stuff. So make sure you don't respond to anything that looks funny. You know, don't open files. Just don't even open email addresses or messages when the subject line, you know, they can't spell already. So it's a good tip to just kind of leave it alone, or you don't know who it's from. I'm trying to think of what else that she covered that's very similar here. Yes, Carolyn?
If I check out a laptop or an iPad, can I leave the library with that? Can I leave campus with that?
No, you can't. A very good question. Good point for these students. If you do check out those items, they'll have to stay on campus, but they're free for you to use while you're on campus. The other thing, we don't have student workshops. Every once in a while we do. But the other thing that's available from the library is something called lynda.com. It's in the library database, and somebody might come along and tell you about that later. But there are tutorials on everything you can imagine. So you could be an expert in Dreamweaver. It's all there, and somebody's done all the work. So you could just become an expert in anything. But that's a resource to you all as students as well from Mississippi. So I think anything else to cover?
I wanted to add something to what Marilyn's question was about the laptop. You can check the laptops out. The other thing is that the library has study rooms. So if you're working on a project or you need help You can get the laptop, take it, reserve a study room, and you can work on stuff in a group. You can also print wirelessly, so if you're working on a project, it's better than coming to an open lab because the open labs are more for quiet individual work, but there are study rooms available in the library here where you can use and get together as a group.
Well, but are there any questions about Pellissippi? We totally confused you. Pretty much, if you've got an account at Pellissippi, you've probably got a duplicate account at UT. But they are all important, and they're all important this whole time you're in school, so check them all. But yes.
Both accounts expire for 90 days.
I don't think UT's does.
We do a 120 day.
100, okay. UT's is 120, but Pellissippi's is 90, so.
The best thing to do on that 90 days, the way it's set up, everyone at Pellissippi's account expires in 90 days, even our faculty and staff. What I do is I put a reminder on my calendar, and I'm proactive so that I change mine because I don't want to come in one morning and be locked out. It's kind of be embarrassing me working at the if I have to come in and my account's locked out. So if you just when you do your homework, if you've got a calendar that you put your schedule, your homework assignments on, that you know to change your password because you don't want to be at home and be locked out of your account.
If you forgot your password, how can you figure it out?
Well, there's,
pull up the web page.
yeah, and there's a can't access your account link.
Pull up the homepage.
There's one on the side on any of the webmail pages, and there's a link right on My Pellissippi as well where you log in.
If you go to the can't access your account, well,
Yeah.
you can go through the steps and you can reset your own password. That way you don't need, if for some reason it is after hours, all you have to do is complete the steps. If you know step 1, if you know your username and your P number, then you can just go to step 2. But you can reset your own password.
Yeah, I think there's another question over here, yes. Yes, in the back.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, the 90 days. When does that start?
From the
Like-
first time you log in and change your password.
Okay.
When you changed your password, that's when it started.
Okay.
Someone asked a question about wireless printing also, and Lois mentioned ball print on Pellissippi. You also have a wireless printing account through PaperCut, and there's a link down here on the far right of all the IT pages on wireless printing that'll take you to instructions or the direct login to log in so you can print wirelessly while you're on campus. And those items, if you print wirelessly at Pellissippi, it will print to the open lab on that campus. So if it's Division Street, it'll print to the open lab at Division, and if you're here, it'll print to the open lab in the 3rd floor of the ERC building.
So far, UTK, our password has been going on ever since we logged in. Was logged in.
Yes, when you first logged in this summer, because y'all are taking classes for UT this summer, right? Yeah.
That's 120 days.
Yeah. So it'll probably all expire right at the same time. So y'all have to be just one day reset everything. So any other questions? Okay. Well, there again, just re-emphasize at Pellissippi, if you need help, there's lots of places to get it. There's the website, there's the help desk, and there's the open labs at each of the campus. And everybody's glad to be here and help you because you're the reason we're here. So anyway, good luck. Thanks.
Before I dismiss you, I know that some of you will be taking classes at our Division Street campus, so I'd like to ask Spencer Joy to come up. You may have met Spencer yesterday, but Spencer actually is the coordinator of the ERC at Division Street, and he's very knowledgeable in the classroom as far as what goes on. He's very knowledgeable as far as technology and also in the ERC as far as referencing. So I want to make sure you put a name with a face. So if you're at Division Street and you see this young man, he can answer your questions pretty much. But I want to let Spencer, if you wanted to say anything, I want to give him a chance to.
Sure. Well, it's kind of unfortunate that Division Street is closed because I know a lot of you guys are going to be there come August 27th, the first day the classes start at Division Street. Division Street's smaller than here, quite a bit smaller than UT. The ERC is located in room 208 of the Vision Street campus, which is on the second floor of that building. And as I said yesterday, the ERC it's a library. There are some computers for use in addition to a dedicated open lab that Tracy and Nancy have spoken about. So there's kind of two lab options at Division Street, and between me and their staff, we can remedy all or almost all of your technology needs in regards to technology and learning at Pella City. So, like I referenced earlier, free tutoring available also in the ERC. So, the ERC and Open Lab are both very popular places on Vision Street, and I will see you guys again in last week of August.
All right, I think we're gonna dismiss. So hang out for this 1 second.
So, Hillary's going to take the group first.
Okay.
And then myself.
So Hillary's group, what color? Orange. We're gonna come with her.
Just the orange group.
Just the orange group.